Check out this story from June, headlined Canadians' Trust in the News Media Hits a New Low. Quote, according to the Reuters Institute's 2022 Digital News Report, trust in the Canadian news media has sunk to its lowest point in 7 years. The study, produced by the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism at the University of Oxford, has found that trust in the news has dropped 13% since 2016. Only 42% of Canadian respondents trust most news most of the time, a slight drop from last year's 45%. It's possible that government support programs for news media, such as federal tax credits, are linked to the more negative perceptions about the media. To be sure, these funding programs have allowed the Canadian news media much needed breathing space to recover financially, in addition to a boost in advertising revenue during the pandemic. But they have also generated criticism and fueled concerns regarding journalistic independence, end quote. Well, knock me down with a feather. You mean to tell me that the majority of Canadians, 1, don't trust the mainstream media, 2, aren't willing to support the mainstream media by purchasing subscriptions, and 3, doubt the validity of journalistic independence and integrity, given they are increasingly funded by the federal government? You don't say. And now that the government's grandiose plans to prop up friendly media outlets isn't working out all that well, the censorious thugs who comprise the Trudeau Liberals are putting away the carrot and they're picking up the stick, which is to say, for those independent media outlets such as Rebel News, you know, the ones who refuse to play ball, well then, it's obviously time to regulate, i.e. censor, the internet. As Peter Menzies notes in his column, quote, the Trudeau government is already well on its way to regulating the internet in order to enrich one class of approved creators at the expense of another. And it's planning to crack down on speech of which it and certain classes of people disapprove at the expense of others. Now, with the Online News Act, it appears ready to insert the state into the newsrooms of the nation, end quote. Unbelievable. Oh, sure, such bills need Senate approval, and even if that is achieved, you can expect years and years of legal challenges ahead as our Dominion becomes more like China and less like, well, Canada Classic. Our other source of hope is regime change. I can tell you that when I covered several Pierre Poilievre rallies when he was running for the CPC, the one pledge that always generated the loudest and most prolonged standing ovation was Mr. Poilievre's statement that if elected Prime Minister, he will defund the CBC. This current Liberal government is morally and ethically bankrupt, just like the state-sponsored members of the media party who serves this government. For those who cherish freedom as opposed to the basic dictatorship of China that Prime Minister Blackface so admires, we need a new sheriff on Parliament Hill, one that will end the grotesque subsidies to failing media properties, and someone who thinks that, contrary to popular belief in certain elitist circles, that censorship is not a good thing.
What you just saw was an excerpt from my nightly show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every weekday I do a monologue. Usually it's about half an hour. Then I interview an interesting guest, and then we read my hate mail or my fan mail, whichever is more fun. It's only available behind a paywall, though. That's how we pay our bills here at Rebel News. We don't take a dime from Justin Trudeau. But the good news is it's only $8 a month, about half the price of Netflix. And in addition to my nightly show, you also get weekly shows from 4 other friends here at Rebel News. So you're getting 36 shows a month just for $8. I think it's worth it. And even if you're not quite sure, do it anyways, because we rely on viewers like you to keep us free and independent. I promise you I'll never take a dime from Trudeau. Just go to rebelnewsplus.com and click subscribe. Thanks.